So, before Gina gets herself in any more trouble, we're going to start the meeting. All right, so it's 6:30, Monday, the February 11th, regular commission meeting.
Oh, I did bring it, good.
We don't have a lot on the agenda, which is good, and we have, hey Tim. We do have a new alternate member. Michael Swisher was sworn in at the last town council meeting. He's not going to be
Most of it.
He's not going to be here tonight. He had a previous engagement, so but he's anxious to join and get going. So we'll be seeing him pretty regularly, I would believe. Also, I did get the meeting minutes from the town council, so it's on record about the walk, the moonlight walk. So that's all been recorded and good. So everything's good to go.
Yeah, we just need enough snow for it. So we'll talk about that when we do subcommittees.
All right, so public comment. You're not here for public comment?
No.
Okay. So we can open and close that quickly. No public hearings, no appointments. Statutory advisory business, P&L landscaping. Is that you? Please, why don't you come up and join us? Just sign in and you make sure the microphone's on. Thank you.
Extended this.
This is going to be.
Yeah.
This is Well, we're bigger.
Yeah.
See, either that or we had to move upstairs to the other room, and I said no.
No.
So
Good.
we had a table.
Good call.
I know how to sit up there. I have to bring my booster seat. Couple of telephone books.
All right. We're done goofing around. So this is in regard to P&L landscaping. We saw this plan a while ago regarding some parking behind the restaurant there. So I guess there's been a couple changes. I'm going to let you, if you'd like to discuss it.
So I can start off. It looks like you've got a set of plans, because I know I provided those with the application originally.
Yep.
The
Say your name. Say your name.
I'm sorry. Hi, my name Eric Brand with P&L Landscaping. This has been a revised application, or we started from scratch, I should say. The previous applicant was looking to have the approval for some tractor trailer storage and parking out back. They have since vacated the premises.
Mm-hmm.
We're looking to just have a secondary use of the existing parking area of my employees' vehicles from my business next door to the facility that you're looking at, to park in the back row, basically, which we have been doing per agreement with the last two previous owners of the property for about 11 years now. And then when the tractor trailers came on site, it started to become an issue. So that's why I'm before the committee here.
Okay.
So the previous applicant, they were looking to rearrange some of the parking and change it, and it was an additional use. We're just looking to have regular passenger vehicles and or like their personal pickup trucks, no business parking of any sort over there, off hours from when the restaurant typically has their peak time of business, and from the count of vehicles per what was required for patrons of or seats within the restaurant, there was an adequate number over and above what the restaurant requirements were for parking spaces to accommodate the number of spaces we were looking at, and then still have a buffer.
Okay. So as you see this map, you guys all have a picture of this? What he's saying now is that those tractor trailers have been vacated from that spot, so they're no longer parking there. They're back. Some other laws moved it back where they're going to be, but they're no longer there. So your parking is going to be relatively restricted right to that back row,
Correct.
and it's typically during the day when the restaurant's not busy.
There was a revised plan that was submitted. We were going for a waiver of full site plan review and just making changes to one of the existing site plans that had already been previously approved, just to show where those spaces would be utilized. Happy to pass this around if anybody cares to see it. Again, there's no change to the basic plan. It's all the same parking that was already,
It's pretty much the same thing we.
yeah, sorry. I only saw the GPS version. I didn't see that one.
We got, just, so
Okay.
that's the same?
Yes.
Okay. So there's a change to the parking?
No, the parking layout stays exactly the same. We're not changing any of that.
Okay. Hey, Cindy.
There are no changes to how anything has been laying out, just the use.
All right. So there's really, I don't know, has anyone got any questions? There's really not a whole lot for us to review now that they're not going for their change of use. It's just overflow parking. Well, you just have a small trail in there, behind the woods there, walking forth, they're not walking out the road.
Between the properties is actually owned by another,
Oh, yeah.
the old Nashville Corporation. I can't remember the current owner. And it's a very deep retention swale where there's a lot of water runoff. So for safety reasons, we actually, and because it's somebody else's property, we have them walk around using the sidewalk by the street.
Okay.
Straightforward.
Yeah, there's really not a whole lot to review any longer, so, but it came before us once, so it had to come with, there's a change, it had to come back in front of us again, so. Does anybody have any questions? No? Do you need a chance to look at this, or rehash, or you good?
No, I'm good. I was just surprised that the restaurant only has 4 employees.
They don't have very many employees right now.
Wow, that's great. They can run a restaurant with only 4 employees, but so I know that's what jumped out at me. I was like, wow.
So even with their 4 employees, there was still a large buffer of parking spaces on there based on the requirements. And we're off on different peak hours for the times that we're really running versus the time that they're running.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's it.
If no one has any questions, we could submit our comments to the planning board with no comments.
Okay. If anybody has any questions at any time, feel free to reach out to me.
Great.
Happy to answer, happy to help in any way.
Super, thank you
All right.
very much. for
Thank you
your
very
time.
much. Thank you.
Okay, new business. You all have in front of you the Beaver Solutions maintenance contract for 2019. There's, the only change has been they added a couple dollars to the cost. 2018 was 960, this is now gone up to 990. We have 4 devices. The town has 3, and I spoke to Lori this evening, and they manage 2 of them themselves. The only one they have problems with, the only one they keep a maintenance contract on is the one up in Merry Meeting, just because those are particularly tricky beavers up there, and they're pretty ingenious, so they manage the other 2 themselves. So because you can see there's a price break at 7 devices, so I was like, oh, maybe we could just get another 5%, but she's like, we take care of them ourselves, because there's really not that much to them, so we're just gonna leave this be, I guess, and as long as everyone's okay with it. Unless someone wants to become actively going out and start managing these. No? Okay. Alright, so I'd granted, I guess we pass a motion every year to pay this, so if someone would like to, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion for the Merrimack Conservation Commission to pay $990 to Beaver Solutions LLC for the year of 2019 from Fund 53.
Motion by Gina, second by Cindy. Any other comments, questions? Go ahead, Pete.
It's kind of off topic, because I support the motion, but Beaver Solutions, they
No.
don't,
Conservation Commission. Sorry.
they don't have, they don't address issues like we have going on up at, Horse Hill with the trees being leveled, and they don't have any strategy plans. I know, we're not gonna eradicate the
They're-
beaver, but
Their focus, and I actually talked to Mike about this, not about Horse Hill, but about a situation a while ago, and their focus is water level management. They, he can provide his input because he knows them well,
yeah.
but as far as construction, he doesn't have any way to build or construct anything that's gonna stop them from going up in the dam. So he's willing to provide his opinion on what we could do, but he's not really, there's nothing he can do.
Gotcha.
So-
Curiosity question.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
These devices have been very successful, so.
Yeah.
When we met with him, he did have solutions for, wrapping trees and stuff to save certain trees.
Right.
So
Yep.
he does do more than just water level,
Yep.
but I think his bread and butter
Well,
is water level to save a road from washing out, and
right.
that he's sort of more focusing in like the big stuff,
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
a couple trees got knocked down.
Yeah,
What do we
yeah,
do?
Yeah, his idea of the wrapping trees was, homeowners have, ornamental trees, they can go wrap them.
Exactly.
You're talking, Horse Hill, we'd have to be up there wrapping the forest.
Yeah.
So
We'd
it's,
we'd have metal scrappers come
Yeah.
clearing our trees.
all right, so we have a motion on the table. All those in favor? Aye. All right, passes.
Full house
Eight.
today.
Yeah, everybody.
Well, 7.
Oh, you're not, that's right, oh, yeah, we got a full house today, so Tim's not sitting as,
Wait,
For
you
fun.
can vote today, can't you?
no, it's 7, that's 7 of us.
Oh,
See?
okay.
We have a full commission.
We have a full commission.
Wowee.
Everyone's here.
Huh. So wait,
Tim's
so,
not, so we have 7.
so
and-
when Michael starts, then he won't be, if we're all together, he won't be able to vote either?
Correct.
Okay,
Yeah.
Right, so the chair will have to designate, if one of you are missing,
Okay.
and there's 2 alternates, the chair will have to designate one of the alternates as a voting member.
okay,
If there's 2 missing, then both alternates could be, so.
okay. Thank you.
So motion by Gina. Okay. Gonna be done here in no time.
Going too fast.
Um,
I told him I have to get pizza tonight. If I get home, they're gonna expect me to make dinner.
All right, so going on to old business, we did speak briefly about the game cameras last meeting. I know you weren't here, so I'm gonna let you speak to what the plan was for those.
So with the success of the police putting their game camera on the Squar property, and having good conversations with some folks that were
Oh,
they're doing
Good.
certain things.
Good.
It was probably a year and a half ago that we voted to get some game cameras, but never acted on it.
Right.
The motion passed. I kind of looked back in the minutes to see if I could find what we voted on, and then I gave up that effort and figured if
Karen could find it?
yeah, if if we really needed to, I'd keep looking. But the police bought cameras,
Right.
and maybe we should have town staff attempt to, get the model numbers of the cameras they're using, because they're pretty easy to use, good cameras, and we should get a couple of those, so
Okay.
that we're kind of consistent. And the cameras that they have are really good for out in the woods.
Okay.
They have the photo, they did, night and day, and no flash, so, it's not gonna be something somebody sees every time they walk by it in the woods at night. Well, it's not gonna disturb the animals and things like that, so.
And you know, the technology today for those game cameras, they're very reasonably priced.
Yep.
You know, and the PD's had the game cameras, God, 10 years now.
Yeah, they just did buy some like a year or so ago.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, I mean, the one, I had a couple.
Yeah.
And they're like antique compared to these new ones. You know, they're so easy to use now. Some of them even have screens where you can flip it and see how many, see how many pictures it's taken and stuff like that. I used to just have to take the memory card out of it every time and then bring it somewhere else to view it. And now that I've don't have a computer, I don't have access to look at it. So I just think we should get some modern stuff and be consistent with what the rest of the town, municipalities doing.
I do remember voting on that a while ago, but I probably do just as well to start over.
How many are you thinking, like 3 or?
Yeah, 2, 3,
Do
something.
you have any idea what they cost?
You know what?
I know what they're cheaper, but I mean.
They're so much less expensive than they used to be.
Yeah.
Right, they're probably around $100 now.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
I bought one for 110.
Yeah, depending
year and
on
a
if
half
you
ago.
want the one with because I got one with a card, and I paid $100 for it, so.
yeah.
Because the ones without the cards were more expensive.
I think the ones that the police department has are probably in the neighborhood of like $150, $200 a piece, because they come with all the
Yeah, there's a bunch of mounts and
mounts.
configurations to
so
really
it
make
just-
them.
Yeah, it makes it easy
Right.
for the person that's setting them up to set it up on, if a tree's leaning this way, you can actually set it up
Right.
so that it's still,
Straight,
straight.
no
the-
drunk turkeys.
Yeah. Yeah, the old one that I had, it was, you'd have to pretty much climb the tree
I got it.
and get it up there somehow, and it wasn't easy.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I'm hesitant to put a motion to say we'll buy them if we don't have a price, just because I don't want to say, not to exceed $400 and find out you can buy one. I'm a little, I don't know, unless someone's got a better idea.
I mean,
Can you pull one up on?
Well, we've got to get we don't have to, but get the part number from the police department,
Yeah.
find out what they
Yeah, see what they use.
see what they
'cause-
used.
yeah, it would make sense to, before we vote on anything, to have
Yeah.
a price and.
Yeah.
What are they called when it automatically goes to your computer or to your phone?
Oh, like Wi-Fi connected?
Okay, so
Yeah, I think-
Wi-Fi connected.
I think those are gonna be
Yeah,
really,
yeah,
Is
but
that
this,
what you want, though?
I think
well,
you want a
no,
view
because we
of
don't
the
have
view
Wi-Fi
screen.
out in the woods.
yeah.
You
So
want a
that-
view, right?
You'd be better off like a Bluetooth, and you can
Like
go download it or something like that. But this,
Cellular? I'm looking on Amazon right
Yeah,
now to see if I can get a
yeah.
price for you.
Yeah, the town's not gonna get a
yeah,
cellular
and
plan
again,
for
we're
a-
not going to buy a cellular
tree
plan, so
cam.
we can go out and retrieve the data from them. I'm not.
All right, well, they
Yeah.
start at $40, so $70, $60.
Yeah, why don't we just get the model number and a price?
Yeah.
Yep.
Right.
Talk about it next meeting.
Yeah, our next meeting is
2 weeks?
March 4th.
Oh.
yeah, March
4th,
4th.
I guess.
Yeah, 3 weeks.
Short month, March 4th. So, are we not really in any dire need to have them now,
Mm.
right now, I don't think. Although we actually may get some snow, we can track things that way too, so which is nice. All right, so we're gonna move this to March 4th. Do you wanna chase that down with the police and get
Yeah. I will.
the part number and, okay. All right. Okay. Any more comments, questions? Good. All right. Beaver activity resulting in the trail closure at Horse Hill. So we, well, you go ahead.
Oh, no. I did close the trail at post 3 and at post 4, like we discussed. And there's actually a sign there that talks about the bridge not being suitable for horses. So it says you can just go around this other way. So there's kind of already a detour sign there. More trees have been taken down, not by beavers, by humans.
Well, these are ones that were, these are ones that were
Hanging.
damaged, though.
Yeah, that were
Okay,
leaning,
right.
right. So they were taken down. There's one that I saw that's still leaning up against another tree. I mean, it, you know,
It didn't come down in all that wind.
no, I mean, it doesn't look
I think it's pretty well
wobbly,
stuck up there right now.
Right,
Yeah.
but you just never know. You know, I don't think the subcommittee would have voted to close the trail, but of course I explained that we had to do something, we had a complaint, so.
Right.
One of them sent a letter or email, right, about opening it back up? Did I see that?
Somebody on the subcommittee,
Yeah.
yes. Well, because they went out and addressed some of the trees, but they can't address that
Yeah.
tall one. But, so, yeah, they would like the trail to be open, but, you know, it's our decision at this point, because it was escalated to us.
So I mean, I'm not sure what we're gonna do to open it back up, if we need to take that tree down, and so I actually spoke to Tim Thompson Friday briefly, and just to find out, you know, what are we required to do? I mean, do we post it? Do we just say, you know, you're out in the woods, you're at your own risk, be careful? So, you know, it's almost, are we causing a problem by posting something we know about, and then someone gets hurt or not? So he was gonna look into that and see if we can get a little bit more direction on what we should be doing. Because, you know, you're out in nature.
Right.
You know, it's, whether you're on a trail or you're walking through, you know, you're bushwhacking, you could have the same problem. So, you know, and even now with the wind, I mean, how many, I don't know if anyone's been up in Greater Woods, we lost the top of a couple trees. Old trees, I mean, they're dying, but they snapped off and they came down, so. And it happens, they had that happen a couple of years ago too. That was when Dan, I don't know, remember that, when Dan walked through there after we had a windstorm? And he walked through and said, yeah, we lost a couple good ones, but, you know, so. When he gets some information back, I'll relay what he tells me, so.
So possibly at our next meeting, we might vote.
Yeah, we could vote to, you know, in the future, we have that issue, we just make people aware of it and
Mhm.
say, you know, pass at your own risk. So, we'll find out. But until then, Cindy did a good job, went out and got caution tape and and closed the trail.
Beware of beaver.
Yeah.
No, I didn't say that. It just says closed.
So, other old business not on here, but one that Sharon pointed out to me is we did okay to buy duck boxes. Are we gonna buy some? Do we need
Yeah.
to?
I didn't place an order.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember what was it for, like how many or anything like that. I think we
Yeah, I think we,
We're
was
gonna
a-
buy a couple of them.
were gonna buy a few of them.
It'll be in our minutes.
Yeah, it's gonna have to go dig through the minutes, so she's really
Yeah.
happy with us right now. I'm gonna go dig that stuff up, so.
sure, I will, I have the guy's card, because I put the last, box out, so
Okay.
I've got the guy's card.
Are you gonna have a box for the winter carnival?
No,
Okay.
unless I take one down.
I don't, I think the boxes I have are the Kestrel boxes,
Oh, okay.
so, but, I mean,
What's different about
exactly.
those?
It looks the same. I think inside, I think the only thing is there's no grit on the, going up to the hole.
Hmm.
But I think that's really the only thing. And I don't think you can open it. I mean, the wood duck box you can open. I don't think these open.
Hmm.
But you're certainly welcome to have it for the show.
A duck box?
It's a Kestrel box, which is, it looks the same thing.
Kestrel's a bird of prey.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the hole's a little different shape, but
So it opens the same?
I don't think this opens. I think
Oh.
they're secured shut,
Okay.
so,
No, it's okay. If we get one another year.
okay.
Because the whole idea is for it to be interactive with little ones, you know, they come and they open it and we have the baby ducks inside, so.
Okay.
Not real baby ducks, I bought some
Eggs?
stuffed baby ducks.
Some
No, I
fake-
bought some stuffed baby ducks on Amazon.
Got plenty of eggs, right?
We get some old spoiled eggs we can put in there.
Yeah.
That would be popular.
Uh,
I'm sure the people that are selling hot dogs would appreciate us putting a cost on them.
That's right.
You're like, that's not us.
All right. Okay, subcommittee updates. Anybody have any subcommittee meetings since the last? I think you were the only one, right, Cindy?
Yes, Horse Hill met, and obviously we talked about the trail was one of the things, but I've already talked about that. So we normally only have 4 meetings a year. We're gonna have 6 this year. So our next one is February 25th, and we are now gonna be starting at 6:30 instead of 7. And that particular meeting is gonna be in the Matthew Thornton room, cause this room was taken. And actually in that meeting, the main purpose of it is to set goals for 2019. We wanna update the subcommittee page on the website, Merrimack Outdoors. So there's a list, you know, a place where you can put goals. It was suggested that we have a notebook at the kiosk in Amherst. So we're, you know, there's like questions and answers, people write comments. So someone wants to type that up and maybe put that on our page, you know. And then people can look there to see it. We plan on having a trail walk in the spring to identify all of the problem areas, because we know that there's been a lot of erosion, and then we'll get a list of everything that needs to be done, you know, and prioritize that. Let's see what else. Somebody asked about setting up a Gmail account specifically for Horse Hill, like Friends of Horse Hill, you know. So I didn't know what other subcommittees were doing. You know, because there's a link on the
Yep.
webpage that says if you want to contact the subcommittee, you know, there's like on that horse sign that I mentioned, it says something like if you have questions, contact, and it actually has the former chair. So I didn't know if there was any guidance or what other people were doing.
Well, and Greater Woods, we don't have our own email any longer. We got rid of it a long time ago.
Oh, okay. So what do you list? Nothing?
Nothing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. People have questions for Greater Woods, it just comes up,
Contact
comes
Nancy,
into us,
so-
yeah.
Mhm. Okay.
I don't know if you guys did anything for
Wildcat Falls had an email address. I'm not sure
Yeah.
it's used anymore, though.
I'm not sure, I can check with Karen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just, I mean, we did for a while, a long time ago, have an official, it was Friends of Greater Woods, was an official site. And it was actually, we actually had a business ID, because we were accepting money, and the town didn't want us to do it because we were not a appointed entity. So we had a business ID, we had a official email and all that, and when the Friends of Greater Woods became a subcommittee to the Concom, that was abolished. So the emails that we had up to that point were, you know, basically for town property. So that was put on a CD and turned over. It's in the file down there, all the emails that were particular, because it was town business.
Right.
And once the Friends of Greater Woods became part of the Concom, it was turned over, and then the email address went away. So
No.
I don't know if that was right in the time we were all getting in the right to know laws. So
Exactly, that's where I was going.
that's why it was done. It was all that email was just gone. And
I mean, I don't know what the capacity for town email is,
right.
and if Chuck Miller could put together for the different organizations, I mean, he may look and say, we're at capacity with all the folks we have on there now. I don't know.
Yeah,
yeah,
Maybe he has an infinite amount he can put on.
He has shied away in the past because of the overhead of all that, so.
Yeah.
So on each of the maps,
Yeah.
there's, it says if you need to contact us, go to the Merrimack Outdoors website.
Right.
And then on the Merrimack Outdoors website, there's the phone number for community development.
Yeah.
And an email link that sends an email.
To the group. That's the one that everybody gets.
And it goes to Merrimack Outdoors, so it goes to all of us, the
Yeah.
whole Concom.
Yeah. And seeing where everyone here sits on a subcommittee as ex officio, I think that's probably the easiest way
To disseminate.
to disseminate that
Okay.
info. Certainly, then it keeps it within that right to know law, so no one's doing any business outside of, or town business on personal emails, or
Yeah,
non-town emails.
This came up because somebody that was on the subcommittee before had a list, of people in town that wanted to be on the list of like Friends of Horse Hill.
Yep.
So that, like, when we had a meeting, an email was sent to say, we have a meeting next week, here's the time. Or, we have a trail day next week.
Right.
That's really all that it was used for.
Right.
So I think the intent was to not lose those contacts.
So,
But again, it'd have to be somebody in the subcommittee that would create it. I mean, someone volunteered to do that.
we have a contact, stay in touch. You
Mhm.
can go and register on the website for stay in touch. And there's 25, 30 emails in there.
Mhm.
But that's just a data repository. If we gave that to Weatherby, Wendy could probably just add those names and email addresses to the contact list.
Yeah.
I mean, we can go download that list anytime we want. We can, and they keep track, if it's obviously all horse held, it keeps track, that list has, what property, if they were interested in, what property they were
Mhm.
curious about.
Yeah, but it's how do you use the list?
Right, that's
the
what I'm
issue.
saying, we don't have a constant contact engine or anything like that. I mean, I just go download it and I parse out, these are all the people that wanted to hear about Greater Woods, and I blast it from my town account.
Mhm.
So would we do something like that for the March 9th walk?
We can, we actually probably should be getting on that pretty soon, hit me. But I've been giving that to Matt Kasparius too, because he's been using the Parks and Rec,
Mhm.
because they use constant contact, so he's got, 23, 200 or so followers,
Okay.
Mhm.
so I gotta do that. Thank you.
I mean, I have the list from before, just because I was included on the email the last time it was sent out, so we thought, oh, maybe, we could contact these people and say, are you still interested, if you still want to be alerted to meetings or trail days,
Yep.
but,
Is there anything on that kiosk that addresses, I'm thinking of that video that guy sent of the dog poop video?
oh,
Is there anything that's like, addresses that on the kiosk or anything about?
the ordinance is listed up there.
Yeah, there was
And-
another sign, additional sign too.
I actually just contacted Pete on how to get in there so I can take that out, because there's some incorrect information that I was not aware is in there. So I'm gonna take that out, because
Take-
by town ordinance, you are supposed to pick up,
Was to clean up after your animal.
yeah,
Yeah.
clean up after the animals.
The thing is we don't have police patrolling and enforcing the ordinance, so kinda,
Yeah, that area looked particularly bad.
yeah. So right now it's the honor system.
Mhm.
And not everyone's honorable.
Right.
Yeah, let me, Matt's really good about getting back to me, or anybody actually, so let me just reach out to him real quick and see if there's some, because he has Parks and Rec uses constant contact,
Oh,
and
okay.
whether we're allowed to use it or not, I don't know. So I could certainly ask him and find out how that works. And if we have, we have a very similar kind of bend, so we may be able to use use their account. I don't know.
Or we could reach out to Weatherby and see what they suggest. They may have something.
Her suggestion is that we need to use something like Constant Contact.
Okay.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah.
It's a tool set up for it, so.
Yeah, the website is not, it's not set up for that. She's retaining the information when people say yes, keep in touch. It's not really set up for, as an outbound email engine. That was the one place I was putting those, is that Gmail account that we had, that we're using now for just the calendar, keep the calendar up to date. So, that's the only one that only other place we have it. So. All right. Gina, you had something you wanted to add?
I do. We were scheduled, Wildcat Falls was scheduled to have our meeting on February 5th, but we did not have a quorum that night, so we have postponed it until this coming Wednesday, which is February 13th at 6:30 here in the Memorial Conference Room. The snowshoe walk is still scheduled for Tuesday, February 19th. However, even though we're supposed to be getting snow, I don't know, and you can give me your opinions, if we'll have enough snow to actually
I
have
doubt
this.
it.
I doubt it too.
Right.
That's why, I mean, we don't have this listed anywhere, so I haven't been real panicky about it, because I don't see us having enough snow. Right now, the temperatures, Thursday will be up to 39, Friday will be up to 41, Saturday up to 41 before we go back to a freeze. So we're gonna have 5 inches to 10 inches, and then we'll have a lot of melting. So I mean, we'll talk about it on Wednesday, but I don't.
Sounds like it'll be icy again.
Yeah, it's
Well,
just like
that's
you have a
the
lot of
problem.
icing.
Yeah, so that's the problem is, we need the snow to be able to see. We can't see.
Mm-hmm.
And the question is, do we want to push it off until March? But I don't think we're going to have snow for March either. Just doesn't look good. So, you never know.
It is listed on our calendar, Merrimack Outdoors, so if you
Okay.
decide, then just let me know and I'll
Okay.
take it off or put.
All right, it's not listed on the, okay, thank you. It's not listed on the town calendar right now. I checked before I came, and I do still need to check with Chief Roy, because the last I spoke to her, she wanted us to park at Courier.
Mhm.
So she was gonna try to arrange that. But again, I mean, I don't want everybody to go through a lot of legwork if we're not gonna have this.
Yeah, today I saw 4 to 8 on Channel 9 before we came.
Four won't cut it.
Right.
And even 8, I don't think is enough, because people will be walking for a week
Right.
before we have this.
Yeah.
And if people are walking on it for a week, it's gonna get tramped down, and
Yeah, it's gonna be
Icy.
ice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's gonna be icy and
Yeah.
difficult to.
But I mean, if it's
Potentially.
a very, very clear night and it's icy, if people go with micro spikes and headlights, I think you'll.
well, we
It'd
don't,
have to be a
we don't all,
micro spike walk.
we don't all have, I mean, people don't all have, are you being serious, or are you being sarcastic?
I am being serious.
Okay. I don't know. I mean, I guess people could bring flashlights, but the whole idea is a moonlight snowshoe walk, so
Yeah, okay.
kind of takes the romance out of it if we're clomping around in micro spikes with headlamps on, so.
Yeah.
or
And you know someone's gonna
flashlights.
turn around and everybody's like, oh, that's right. And now they're gonna be walking off into the woods.
So I will, we'll have our meeting on Wednesday, and I will communicate via email and let you all know what's happening with that.
Okay.
So, and I will check with Karen and ask if we use the Wildcat Fall email address. Do you want us to get rid of that? Do we want to not use that anymore? To keep it consistent with the emails coming directly to us on the MCC, so everybody sees them?
I don't,
Well, I think we're gonna wait till see what you find out, right, on Constant.
well, they're talking about just regular correspondence.
This is the first I've heard of it, that we have it, so.
There was one, I'm not sure if it's still used or
All
not.
right.
so-
That's the thing, is it even used? I mean, is
Okay,
it,
I'll ask Karen.
people have to log into a separate email engine, they're just firing it off on their own,
Yeah.
so.
I mean, you gotta think about it. Everybody out there has the
Wildcat,
website and,
yeah.
and the contact. How many emails do we get?
Right. Not many.
3 a year?
Okay, so that's that. That's my update.
I have a just comment about Squar. There's probably enough trash still down there, where a small cleanup would probably be good this spring. I could contact Anheuser-Busch, and I could probably even arrange it during the week, because we wouldn't need as many people if they wanted to.
Yeah, it'd be great to do it earlier,
Like April,
before the leaf out.
like April,
Yeah,
yeah.
because, I mean, you know, as we saw, we were walking around down there the other day, I was like, wow, there's another tire, oh, there's, you know.
Yeah, if we could just
Consider
get
what we pulled out of there before.
a couple pickups or one truck from the town or something,
Yeah.
you know.
Mm.
But I know if Anheuser-Busch was interested, they would be wanting to have it during the week.
Fidelity also expressed interest
During the week.
during the week.
Yeah, that'd be great to get them involved too. But, it's obviously not like a huge affair like it was last June.
Right.
It's not,
But
Right.
there-
hundreds of tires
at
but there's still a lot of stuff there.
Yeah, at every corner too,
Mm.
because there's some up by the railroad tracks, on the power line end.
Yeah, and there's new stuff. Yeah, so I mean, I could look into that. If you have I don't know if I still have that person that emailed last year from Fidelity. If you have that contact from
I
there,
do, yeah.
I could reach out to them.
Okay.
See,
Sure.
you send that to me.
Yeah.
All right.
Make a note.
In your non-computer? I have bad news for you, dude.
That's right.
Yeah.
Computer.
That's got more power than the first space shuttle.
That's right.
All right, any other subcommittee comments? No? We want to move into the minutes? Wow.
Oh my goodness. Yes, don't you?
Very, very quiet.
That's good luck.
You'll notice the minutes are a little fat. There's a section in the back here, we got into a little bit of discussion on the seedlings, so I had
Won't
those
make that
included.
mistake again.
Had those included in the minutes, just so, make sure no one's gonna be upset. And then, the handout that Dawn gave us, last meeting for, the Severance Bridge canoe launch, I had those included also. So the minutes aren't quite as fat as they seem, those couple extra pages in the back that were just extra.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve the Merrimack Conservation Commission meeting minutes dated January 28th, 2019, with changes as follows.
All right, motion by Gina,
Second?
second by Mike. All right, any comments?
I have a few. Starting with page 2, line 44. I'm kind of going with the capitalizing the S on Scout whenever you talk about Boy Scouts. On page 3, line 10. What is that number? It's $100
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be $10,000, I think that we just gotta,
100,000.
Well, I think it was 100,000.
Plus or minus, like, give or
Plus
take.
minus. But I think it needs an extra zero.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
So $100,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, plus or
It
minus.
needs an extra zero.
So $100,000, so we need an extra zero there. All right,
oh yeah,
also,
that's the road in Greater Woods, not the road in the Fields
Yeah.
Farm, okay.
okay, also on page 3, line 29, how to shore up. I checked online the difference between S-H-U-R, I'm sorry, S-U-R-E and S-H-O-R-E in that sentence, and it should be S-H-O-R-E, meaning to support. On page 4, line 16, I'm gonna call that instead of residents, R-E-S-I-D-E-N-T-S, I'm gonna call it residents, R-E-S-I-D-E-N-C-E, and then put a comma after it. I think that's all I had. And I apologize for my email conversation. And map is a verb sometimes. In my world, it's a verb.
And I only had one. You got the other ones. On page 9, 48, line 48, calculating 6 removal.
Oh, good catch.
There's only 6 of us?
Yeah.
Oh. Well. That's the only one?
Yeah.
Oh. All right, so I had just one item that, and I'm, again, this may be exactly what we said, but, page 5, line 42. Commissioner Tenney stated the visited beaver sites that were problematic. I believe that's was, they only visited the beaver sites that were problematic.
Makes sense.
I'm not sure exactly what was said, but that, we were discussing GZA, we were discussing the plan that GZA did and where they went. So,
Yeah, so they visited the beaver sites that were problematic, so that could be they,
you know, I think the should be, at least be they.
yeah,
I don't think it was supposed to be a the.
yeah.
Everyone good with that?
Mm-hmm.
Just happy I found something you two didn't find.
So there.
Earned my keep today.
Well, you know, I almost had another one, but I think it is what you said, but
Oh, what?
most all.
Probably. I say that a lot.
Sorry.
Almost all the time he does.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, any other comments and corrections? Seeing none. All those in favor? Passes.
I abstain, 'cause
I
I was not
abstain, too.
present.
Okay, so it passes 5-0-2 with Mike and Pete abstaining.
Matt and Pete.
Matt and Pete abstaining.
I guess that's a vote.
So you may know this is, because we've discussed, you could vote, right? There's no reason, just because you weren't here doesn't mean you can't vote on it, because you're voting on the fact that we accept them. Is that true? Do you know?
I always kind of gone by the rule of thumb, if I wasn't there.
Yeah,
then
you
I-
didn't, yeah, don't vote on it, I know, but I mean, I thought that was, you probably know this, don't you?
So, I mean, technically you can vote. You're a voting member. If you believe that the minutes as amended agree with the meeting, you can, you know?
Yeah.
So, but most people don't.
No, right.
But I have always held that if someone said, hey, I want to vote, I'd say, you can vote.
I've watched the meeting before, like on TV,
Mm-hmm.
and then come and voted. But if I hadn't watched it and wasn't there, I'm not gonna
I've just-
say, yeah, that's what was said, because I wasn't there.
Yeah, I guess it's that discomfort of saying, sure, I agree with it, even though I don't really know, you know, yes.
All right, commissioner comments? Nothing? Cindy?
It's the Winter Carnival. I think that's before
23rd?
February?
Mm-hmm.
Yep,
Okay, so
23rd.
Coming up.
we won't have another meeting before then,
No.
so are we?
Somebody did tell Matt we're doing this, right?
I noticed the list and we weren't on it.
We're not on it? Really? Okay, well, maybe I
On his
should.
website, but maybe it wasn't updated.
Maybe I'll
Maybe you should check.
send Matt an email. I'll do that.
Do you think we're gonna get the
the maps.
big maps in time?
Oh, yeah, good question, good point. So I was hoping that checks would be up here. I gotta go pick up the checks downstairs. I signed for them Friday, so the maps are available. They're ready to be picked up.
Oh, good.
So I just usually pick up the check downstairs and
Go bring it over.
take them with me when I go over and pick that stuff up. But I was not able to get it Friday, and I was not able to get here early enough today, so,
Could be in a mailbox.
yeah, I just checked, they're not there.
Okay.
So I'm gonna check with Sharon, she may just send it over to him. Cause he gave us an invoice, Paper Graphics gave us an invoice for it. We did pay for the big maps, but obviously he's not obviously, but he's donating the small trifolds,
Oh, nice.
yeah, at their expense, so.
Very generous of them.
Yes,
Yeah.
he was very generous with him. Yeah, so I'll just check with Sharon. She may have already sent the check over to him, and if that's the case, then anybody can just go over and pick them up. I'm probably, I don't know if I'm gonna be around tomorrow afternoon or not in time, so we'll see. But I can check with Sharon anyways and find out. Let everybody know. If someone's got a chance to go over there, then everyone knows where it is, Paper Graphics. Yeah.
I can get it. I mean, I went
Oh,
last
yeah.
time, so I know where it is.
Yeah, if you need it
but-
picked up, I can stop by too. I go to the Y often.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, right there.
It's right
yeah.
there.
Mhm.
Yeah, I can find out from Sharon. If she sent the check, then we can just go over and pick it up. And if not, then it's downstairs, because it should be all signed for, ready to go.
I'd love to get the big map in the Wasserman kiosk, because it looks kind of silly with a big kiosk and a little tiny map.
So, yeah, so they're there. They're gonna be, the only thing we need is some more of those finish washers.
I got some.
Do you? Okay.
Yep.
Alright, cool. So, yeah, the maps are available. They'll be there.
And the scout left a bunch of push pins inside the,
Oh, that's so.
yeah.
Have you been over there, like, since the windstorm?
No.
Which one are you talking about?
The big one over at Washman?
Yeah, we might want them.
Yeah, just,
Remember the top was a little,
yeah, it was when we were first over there, and because he just put it in, so it hadn't really
Settled.
settled or anything, so I wonder.
Hmm.
Just wonder.
yeah.
We had some good
It's
wind.
probably all right.
I think Matt's there every day.
No,
He's not?
office is closed now, and it's winter time.
Somebody's there during the day.
Yeah, they use that
Lights.
building is not well insulated,
Yeah.
so they try not to use it very much, because it you turn the heat on, and a good wind, and just, it's right back to outside air temperature.
I've gone
So-
over there
Yeah,
during the day, and the lights are on, and there's
Yeah.
a car parked out front.
Mhm. Yeah.
Because I knew previously he moves somewhere in this building for
Yeah.
the winter, but
That's what he usually does, because, like Gage said, it's cold over there.
yeah. Well, he responds to emails. Like, you could send him one at midnight, he responds
I
in like
know.
5 minutes later, so
Oh, wow.
he's, yeah,
yeah,
he's
he's
very good.
dedicated.
Yeah, he's very good about responding to emails, so. You have any comments,
Nope, all set.
Pete? Gina?
I was just gonna ask a question, because I keep getting a thing in my inbox that says your inbox is full, so I'm trying to get rid of
I
things.
get that too.
Yeah, I mean, how many, do you guys keep all your emails, or do you, as soon as, you only keep the critical ones, or how does?
I've been getting that email every day for, 2 years.
Yeah, you know what I found is, if you go and you delete it, it stays in there, and you have to go and empty your deleted.
Empty your deleted.
Yeah.
Well, I did, and I ended up, I deleted a bunch of things that didn't look critical, so I haven't gotten it for a while, but
Yep.
I know it's just a matter of time. I was just curious if everybody else keeps
So-
all their emails.
So I don't. I only keep what I think are important emails that I want to get back to,
Okay,
so.
okay,
um,
so I'll go
It's-
through, and whatever's not critical, I'll get rid of.
Outlook you have the ability in Outlook to archive, you can take big chunks of it and archive it. It's very, very difficult to do from the light version, and
Okay.
you'll have to spin up Outlook on a computer and connect at home, so you have the full application. Well, I know, so you can archive, and you can just take them and just move them off and just keep them in their raw format, you know, on just on a thumb drive or something like that, and if you ever need to get to them, you just plug them in and drag
Alright.
them back.
I'll ask one of the Jerrys
So-
to do that for me, because that's beyond my, I mean, and the other thing is, going through all of my actual paperwork.
Yeah.
Do you keep all your minutes and agendas, and I'm not keeping all the maps and everything, like, I'm not keeping all of these
No,
things like
it's-
from, you know.
No.
No, you can get it all back, because everything that's put together for a meeting should be available.
In the office.
Yeah.
All right, okay, because that'll
I keep,
save me
I
a
keep
lot.
things, I keep things that
It's a lot of stuff.
that I make notes on, or
Right.
things those are what I keep.
Yeah.
Recycle.
No, I do recycle it. It's just, you know, I'm trying to go through all my paperwork, and if it's not sparking joy, it's out of there. So.
Yeah.
You're the one slowing up all the emails.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Mike, do
Okay,
you have
thank
anything?
you.
No, except, I forgot to ask you for more maps for Greater Woods for BB
Oh.
kiosk.
Yeah, that's too bad, I have some. We have more, Greater Woods maps.
There's like 4 left.
Okay. All right, I can, well, we can hook up whenever and get,
Yeah.
that's not a big deal. Are you going straight home?
Yeah.
From here?
Or I can stop by your house.
Yeah, you want to stop by, I'll give you a box. That's it?
Gage, I actually do have something I want to comment on, or real fast, but I know, are we still looking for more boulders for Squar Park?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, because there's a couple of sites that I'm gonna talk to the contractors, and see if they'd be interested in making a donation, so.
Yeah, we've had great support from DPW, as long as we can get them in one location.
Yep.
They'll move them from one location to one location, so, and they know right where to dump them. We told them just to keep dumping in the same spot if they ever come across them, so.
Yeah, if I find out that it's, that these people are interested in letting us get some of these, then I'll pass the word down to everybody.
Okay.
Yeah,
Great.
great.
And
Perfect.
Mark Todarski did a great job.
Yep.
Yep.
Getting those in place.
Yeah, he's been very helpful, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We-
Well, he more so than anybody, really wants that to stop down there.
Oh, yeah.
So,
And we have now him and 2 others that are interested in being on the subcommittee.
right.
So we have sort of the beginnings of a subcommittee there.
Who are the 2 others?
Husband and wife.
Yeah, I
you met.
contacted them.
Yep.
Yep.
And they didn't seem to.
Well, they're interested in once meetings and things, and they can
Yeah.
help.
Oh, okay. Is there a minimum you have to have?
We have to create a charter
You
first.
get a quick charter, so.
You need 4, don't you? 4 to have a quorum.
Well, you have to have,
Fine.
you have to have more than 50%. So if you have a member of
If
2,
the subcommittee's 4, you need
you need,
at least 2.
you need at least 2.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So we have that's why we always have an odd amount.
Yeah.
Didn't know that. So we have 4 people on the Wildcat Falls, and Andrew was not there, but then we still had a quorum?
Oh, yeah.
Well, what's your charter though? How many are
Yeah,
supposed to
it's
be?
5.
It's 5.
Yeah.
So you have to have 3 people.
You have to have 3 people.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah.
That's good to know.
Yeah,
I'll
just,
let
I mean,
them know.
not just like if you have 4, you have to have 2. Yeah, it's what you're chartered to have.
Okay, all right,
So if
that's
you
good
had
to know.
4, you need to have 3.
You need to have 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's why we do odd numbers, 5 or 7.
So you can you grab one of the charters for the other subcommittees and, because you know it's all yours. Right? You know that, right?
Okay, like I said, I'm gonna be gone a lot.
Just change the name of the guilty, that's all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're taking off, man. I'm like,
Well, you could be the one missing then.
See, we have
That's
2
why you have
alternates.
alternates.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have 2 alternates now, so you don't have to feel bad.
You done?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. I don't really have anything. This is, the orders for the seedlings is in, and, so we're gonna be waiting, sometime in late April. Sometime they'll call us and we can go get them. I spoke to Jeff Courier. He's all aboard, again, willing to donate our orchard. He's upset because they actually had to lock the door this year, so we'll actually have to talk to him before we go over because the orchard's locked, so, which is too bad. It's the first time since it's been there, so, whatever, good. I've been getting, also I've been getting on these little GZA, update notices, they didn't give us a location on this yet, and you have to sign up for it, and I can certainly send it out to whoever's interested, but this is it's a local, seminar. It's storm hazard mitigation through designing with nature, and it's how to soak up the rain, and then it's the New England webinar series. So I didn't know if anyone's interested. It's Tuesday, it's in the middle of the day, so I don't know if it's a webinar, so I'm assuming it's gonna be online, but I have not signed up for anything since, but I can forward these out. I just didn't wanna send people junk mail if no one's interested in it, so I can forward it out to the group if people wanna get these. I'm not getting a lot of them. I get 1 or 2 a month.
Are they
I
free?
might do that one.
Yeah, is that something, that's something, if I get these, would you like me to forward them out, or is it just?
I'd like to see it. I'm home
Do you-
during the day.
Do you guys get that Boston Bizno junk mail?
Oh, gosh, you know what? I blocked
I
them.
unsubscribed from that.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah,
I did.
well, I tried
to-
Click on it.
Oh, there's unsubscribe in the email?
Click on it, and then go down to the bottom of the email and
Alright.
click
I don't know
unsubscribe.
how we got on it.
Yeah.
Well, it's,
Everybody can.
yeah, they find all sorts of stuff
That's
and
true. Mhm.
send it to everyone. Because
Yeah,
I try to unsubscribe things that come to the Merrimack Outdoors too,
Right,
but
right.
sometimes they still show up, so
Mhm.
there's not any good way to block them, but. All right, I'll send these out to everyone. And that's all I have.
Motion to adjourn.
Second?
Can I make that motion?
Yeah.
You just can't vote, just can't vote.
Motion by Tim, second by, who did it?
Nate.
Second by Cindy. All those in favor? Passes 6-0-0, 6.5-0-0.
Yeah.
7-0.
Good.
At what time?